Um, Today I'm going to discuss some of the questions from the KUHS University previous year MBBS questions of first year. So mainly in this video I'll be focusing just four questions and how to present its answers from the previous year. The I'm focusing on physiology and on gastrointestinal system. So first question: describe the mechanism of digestion and absorption of fat along the gastrointestinal tract. So digestion and absorption of fat is actually a long essay question, which is most frequently asked. But the digestion and absorption of proteins and carbohydrates are not much frequently asked. They can be asked as short answers and all, but the digestion and absorption of fat is really important. So, when a question is given like this, we have to write the answer under subheadings. So, the subheadings should be digestion of fat and absorption of fat. And under digestion, there should be three headings, that is, digestion of fat in the oral cavity, and digestion of fat in the oral cavity, and digestion of fat in the stomach and in small intestine. So, digestion of fat in the oral cavity, which is initiated by lingual lipase, secreted by Eppner's gland present on the dorsum of the tongue, and 30 to 40% of triglycerides are digested in the oral cavity. Then, digestion in the stomach, which is not much significant in human beings, but it's not that significant, but it is digested by gastric lipase to a small extent. Then digestion in small intestine, we have to write about the pancreatic lipase, then cholesterol esterase and phospholipase. These are the important enzymes which we should include in the answer when we write the digestion of fat in small intestine. Then the absorption. These answers are actually prepared by me. For this is how I wrote in my exams, but and it's also checked by my teachers. So I have got some help how I can improve my answers. So the best way to to make your answer perfect is to discuss it with some of the professors, and they can help you how to improve the answers. So I have got some help from my professor, and this is how he told me to write. So then absorption of fat, we have to write about the micelle formation, then about the hydrophobic and hydrophilic part, and we can represent it diagrammatically. Like we can draw simple diagram showing a micelle and amphibilic molecule with the head and tail part. Then we have to write about the critical micelle concentration and how the fat is converted to free fatty acids, and these free fatty acids, which are less than 10 to 12 carbon atoms, which are directly absorbed from the mucosal cells into portal blood, and which are greater than 10 to 12 carbon atoms are esterified in mucosal cells. So in smooth endoplasmic reticulum, these triglycerides, cholesterol esters and phospholipids are are encircled by beta lipoprotein, and later it is attached with carbohydrate in Golgi apparatus to form chylomicrons. And we have to write about the how these large fat globules are broken down into smaller droplets by multiplication, and the importance of multiplication of fat globules, that is to increase the surface area for the action of lipase. So this is how we can present this answer. And we can also represent, if we have more time to write in exam, we can actually draw a small symbol diagram like this. Shouldn't be that attractive, but we can uh, draw it like a simple diagram. Then we can represent it like this diagram: the emulsification by bile, then enzymatic digestion by pancreatic lipase, and absorption of products and their actions in the organelles. So the next question is enteric nervous system. It is usually asked as a short answer. This was asked in May 2022 in university exam along with physiological basis of achalasia cardia. So first, when we get this question, we know that enteric nervous system, it's called the mini brain of gut because they can function independently. So first, we can show a flow chart. Like flow charts are the main key where we can actually score marks, because by seeing the diagram itself the examiner gets a view about what you know. It's much easier to understand the the how it's about presenting. So flowcharts are much easier to analyze, right? So we can write about this flowchart. This flowchart is taken from GKPAL. So most of the answers are prepared from GKPAL itself. So uh, then we have to write about this flowchart is important. We have to draw this. Then we have to write why this is the main feature, that it is called the mini brain of gut. Then it has sensory neurons, interneurons, and motor neurons, and it can function independently. Then we can draw a small symbol diagram like this. This is a hand drawn diagram that I do in my exams. So this was also corrected by my professors, so that's why I have included this. Then we can write about the two types, meandric and Meissner's plexus, and where they are located, and what is its function. Like the meandric, it mainly regulates GIT motility, whereas Meissner's, it controls the secretions. Then we can write about the neurotransmitters in the enteric nervous system. So acetylcholine is a main neurotransmitter. The others are VIP, serotonin, substance P, and things we can write. Then the next sub question was physiological basis of achalasia cardia. So the if it's asked as a 2 mark or 1 mark question, we can actually write because of the absence of esophageal peristalsis or the failure of the lower esophageal sphincter to relax during swallowing. Or if it's asked as 4 mark question, we can write actually these points. These are enough. If possible, we can also draw a small diagram showing the esophageal, the rat tail appearance of the esophagus. Then the combo, I will add the diagram in the PDF. If yeah, then the next question, it's asked as a short essay. Actually, from GIT, all the secretions like saliva, bile, gastric gastric juice, then HCl, all this their functions, then their regulation. These are important for saliva. The composition and function of saliva is most frequently asked as a short essay. So for physiology, like for anatomy and all, we can directly study from the textbook, but for physiology, like the textbook, it's really vast, and we may get confused and just deviated from what is important and what should be included in the answer. And also we have to refer different books and make a perfect no almost perfect answer from different sources. So for physiology, I used to refer GK Pal, then Sembulingam, because it's much easier. But I prefer GK Pal to read and to get or gain more knowledge. This is just to summarize and all. Sembulingam. So I don't recommend Sembulingam, but uh, for easy understanding, to summarize the mind maps and all from that book is really good. So this was told by my teacher too. When we write answer, we have to write it like this, so it will be much easier and it saves time. So the composition of saliva, we have to write about the volume, then pH. Then this flowchart is from Sambulingam. So we have to write about the water 99.5% and solids. Then about the organic substances present, inorganic, and the gases present. So if in this flowchart, almost what is needed, it is given. So it's a good flowchart. Then The next one is the functions of saliva. So preparation of food for swallowing, then appreciation of taste, digestive function. So this is how we should write. When we underline the main points, right? Then under that we can give sub points like this. So it is much easier for the examiner to go through. Okay, the student knows all the important things, like important points. Then so we have to write about five functions is enough for short essay, but uh, more you write, if you have much time you can write. Then for then the next question is to describe the mechanism of secretion of HCl in stomach. It is favorite questions for us for internals. It was a frequent question, but for our university this year we didn't get this question, but it's frequently asked in previous year. So the short essay, this was the answer provided by my one of my professors, and it tells the mechanism of HCl. The diagram, this diagram is really important. It shows what all happens. The diagrams, flowcharts, these are really important. Then we say about what is the composition of HCl. Then we say from where the H plus ions is secreted, and from where the Cl minus is secreted. We can also write about the H plus K plus ATPase pump or proton pump. These are the main things needed. Actually, this was the answer. This was from this images are from a PDF given from for us from our professor to write the answer. So this answer was prepared by my professor. So thank you.